Back again. So, following up on that last video where we did the saddlebag guards from Mactions, today we've got the whole foot control setup. So I went ahead and got everything assembled and laid out along with the tools. So I'll spin you around. You can see what we got going on, since you can probably see we're still rocking, the stock streamliner style plus my Amazon special streamliner ones that we had on the 19 for the Weiss floorboards. So coming around here, here's everything we got: rider boards, passenger boards, shifter peg, brake pedal, everything. And it's well machined. I believe their website says that it's machined out of 6061 aluminum, that everything felt good. All these little spikes here, you do have to thread each one of those in individually, and they do send you with a wrench, and I ended up with some extra spikes. So either they intended for that or I did it better than factory. So, but every one of them got Loctited, which actually was kind of nice about having to put each one of them in individually. Just plop in front of the TV, Loctite thread while you're a potato. So pretty much I'm hoping this is going to be fairly straightforward. I'm hoping this is all going to work because their website doesn't specifically say that these will work on the 24s. Work on 23s and older. So me being me, I went and did a little bit of looking around online and Harley's website, and by all rights everything should work because part numbers and parts didn't change a whole lot for what we're doing. Now, that being said, my Amazon rear passenger boards are going to have to go, and I'm going to have to put the stock Harley passenger peg mounts on so I can insert the mini boards into that instead of what's on there now. So no harm, no foul. If anything, this should tuck the passenger boards a little bit closer into the bike so my stubby minion legs can reach the ground better, especially if I'm backing up the bike. So taking a look at the tools that we need to do this, it's all pretty simple. Obviously some Loctite. We got a 6 mil Allen. We got a 1/4 inch, I think a 5/16 Allen, and 5 mil, along with a 1/2 inch wrench and an extension. Because I prefer extensions, get the wrench away from the bike. So, and obviously the metric stuff is really needed for this, because remember, this is straight out of China, but everything feels solid. I mean, I really can't complain too much about this Chinesium, and I don't think it really is going to be all that bad. But you know what? I'll get it on there. We'll check it out, and I'll put some miles on them. I'll check back with you guys, in another video, let you know what I think. But overall, I'm impressed so far. And like I said, between all the controls and crash bar, we're hair over $300. So it was worth a shot to me. Now I'm going to go ahead and get into my spare parts bin, get these OE mounts out, and settle up, and we'll start yoinking things off the bike. All right, so we'll start with the rider boards. And I apparently had a massive brain fart a little bit ago, because we're not worried about those bolts. We're worried about these ones. So that's a 3/16, and on the back side is a 1/2 inch nut. So this is a little snug, so I'll just pop that in there maybe and loosen that, and then the board will come off, but the mounting bracket will stay put. So I just wanted to fill you in on a oh shit moment that I had. So let's get it swapped out. All right, there's one floorboard attached. So, and it still folds up in the event that it goes over. It is a little tight up in here, but it, did reuse my own hardware with the Loctite. Only a little bit of lateral movement, nothing bad, but once it's down, it's tight. Now, will I hear that rattle? I don't know, maybe. If I do, my exhaust isn't loud enough. But it's not going to go anywhere, and it feels like it's on there solid. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the rear take off this Amazon special and hopefully get the Mactions one mounted. And when it's in the up position, hopefully it doesn't hit the side cover. So your bolts may be different, but I know I've got like a 1/4 inch and something smaller underneath. Let's actually go find out. That's where the 1/4 inch and the 5/16. Whoa, you can't see. 1/4 inch and 5/16 comes in. So we'll get that pulled off, figure out which one of these is supposed to go there, and then disassemble, reassemble, reinstall. All right, passenger floorboard on, flips down. Ow. It's solid. You do get the ability, let me get down, change my angle here. You do get the ability to control the tilt this direction. You know, if you want it forward, back, you know, whatever. There's no adjustment for how far up this can go, and obviously down is just as far down as it can go. Note, if you are running these and you go all the way up and you're not careful, you will come in contact with your side cover. Now, that being said, with that spring plate bracket thing in there, this is tight. I mean, shy of coming up and kicking it with your leg, I don't see this accidentally bumping into it. But what I may do is pick up a little piece of that clear protectant like sticker and just maybe cover this or part of this or something. I don't know. Even if I put this lower piece back on, it's still going to connect up here. So I don't know. I might just have to be careful or figure out, you know, what to do here. But you've been warned. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the camera. I will do the same thing to the other side, and then I will pick you guys back up once that's done and we're ready to knock out the brake pedal and the shifter peg. So don't go nowhere. All right, so with the other side finally done, and I did have to do one little tweak, but I'll show you that here in a sec. We're gonna go ahead and tackle our brake pedal here. And on the back side, just a little 1/2 inch like acorn style nut that should break loose pretty easily. Nope, going the wrong way. Getting 50-50 shot, you know? So I'm gonna go ahead and continue to pop this loose because I'm probably gonna need 2 hands to put the other one on. But there's that. That comes off. And this has just a little 5mm nut back here. So we'll throw some Loctite on that. And yeah, I'm gonna need 2 hands. Hey, and 2 washers. We got a regular washer and a split washer. Wish I paid attention to which way this came out. I'm just gonna go ahead and split washer close to the brake pedal, regular washer close to the bolt head. So I'm gonna put you down, Loctite, install. And it's just that easy. Now I did go ahead and lose just the regular flat washer that it came with, utilized the split washer, and where is it? There we go. The big washer that originally came on the back of the pedal, along with Loctite. So this shouldn't go anywhere. I mean, I probably could have maybe wiped down in here a little bit of the back side of that washer, but that bike's got to be detailed anyway. So, all right, so we're gonna flip around to the other side, do the shifter peg, and that'll wrap this up. So let me grab the Allen wrench that I need. I'll let you know what size. Grab our Loctite, and we'll wrap this bad boy up. This will probably be the easiest part that we do. It's just a 1/4 inch bolt. This will come off, and then this will go on. Not with the same bolt, unfortunately, because that is a much wider head. We'll be using a smaller cap head that they provided. So, and I have a sneaking suspicion that these bolts probably aren't to the same quality as Harley's, but I don't know. But either way, Loctite, done and done. Hold up. All right, it's on. Now I did kind of get it loosely in place, sat on the bike, just so I could kind of get the angle here right. So, and I used a ball Allen to get in there. If you've got a regular long Allen, I would probably recommend that just because it's dangerous to try to torque something down with a ball Allen. Asking me how I know. So that's all of them. Now what I did have to do with this board here, and see if this will come through, is I did have to pull 2 of the spikes here. Well, I didn't have to, I chose to, so that way I could fold this up just a little bit closer. And if I really wanted to, I could probably pull that peg too, but I don't want my wife or my daughters to, you know, have wobbly feet. So I think that's going to suffice, and I think that's going to get me a lot more clearance when I go to back up the bike, you know, instead of running into the floorboards. So back to the other side, fold that up, being careful, and everything's tight. You know, everything came out really good. I mean, other than that one issue on the passenger low side footboard, you know, everything went great. So yeah, everything feels solid. I didn't have anything bending, I didn't have anything breaking, you know. Everything went on great. Now, is it Harley quality or, you know, maybe some of those higher end brands? No, but it also wasn't that price tag. So for what it was, I am beyond happy. So 0 complaints as far as this goes. Not even a critique, but I'll put links in for the foot controls that we did, just like I did with the crash bars. They do have them obviously in chrome, black, and there might be some other color combos. I wasn't looking. Again, I bought this. You know, they didn't sponsor anything. They didn't send me nothing. You know, it's just, I wanted to try something different. I never did floorboards on the last bike, so I figured I'd give it a whirl. So the MX style, it's not uncomfortable, and I think it should keep my feet from sliding around, because I know the last couple of times I went out to Sturgis, ripping down the highway at the speed limit, I did find that my feet would kind of slide a little bit on the floorboards, and that's a little tiresome for the inside muscle of your thigh, whatever that's called. I don't know. But if anybody's having an issue with your regular boards, your stock boards doing that, with your feet sliding around on them, these MX styles I think are going to be a real winner. But of course, I won't truly know till I get out on a ride. So I'll put some miles down and I'll update you guys in the next video as to what I think. But at the moment, I'm definitely giving these a 9 out of 10. So, but anyway, that's all we've got for this video. Questions, comments, concerns, let me know, and we'll catch you guys later. See ya.